everybody. Welcome once again to Our Favorites. Thank you for joining.
I have a crippled hand. I can't. I'm sorry.
But just like SpongeBob, where he uses our imagination, we use our imagination to think of all the movies that we liked. That was really, really bad.
It was really hard for Dickey to think that hard.
Really
that was not my favorite intro of yours.
Shark Tale.
Yeah, okay, yep. Red flags.
Shark Tale.
But anyway, no, I am very excited today. We are talking about our favorite Studio Ghibli movies.
Yay!
Woohoo! From the classics like Mononoke, Spirited Away, and so many other ones that I can't name right at the top of my head.
Earwig and the Witch.
Yeah! I actually have not seen that one.
Tales from Earthsea.
You are throwing some deep ones that I haven't even seen.
Pompoko, where the raccoons use their nut sacks.
Wow!
I'm not kidding. It's actually a good movie.
I need to watch this.
It's a good one. I think it's on HBO Max. That's where I watched it.
All of them are on HBO Max.
They all are on HBO Max. Even Earwig.
Quick shout out to HBO Max.
Let's hope not.
All the Spirited Away movies.
I think that's where I watched it.
So after you listen to this conversation, you can go ahead and watch them yourself.
It's like if DreamWorks were nightmare fuel.
I like it. Absolutely. So anyway, I am very excited to get talking about this. We all have each of our favorites we're ready to discuss.
And no doubles.
We doubles.
We all had our own pick.
Yeah. A couple of times before this, obviously, we both picked Jared's favorites. So we had to switch off, or you had to switch off.
Not the third time, though. The third time we were good. But the first two, yes.
Yeah. But for this one, we all have our individual picks. I'm excited to talk about them. Jake, as I smash my microphone, what is your favorite Studio Ghibli movie?
Y'all are gonna hate me for this. Ready?
Go for
Ready?
it.
Ready? I want to be able to feel the hate wash over me.
Ocean Waves.
Ponyo.
Wait, is it pronounced Ponyo or Ponyo?
Ponyo. I don't know.
Ponyo.
That's always the way I've said
I've been
it.
pronouncing it wrong my
Don't look at me for
life.
I think it's
pronunciation.
Ponyo.
I'm terrible at
Ponyo.
pronunciation.
Okay. Anyway, why is it your favorite? Do tell. Do explain.
The most terrible thing on the face of this planet. Nostalgia. It was the first Studio Ghibli movie I had ever watched. It's pretty. It's got a lot of voice actors that I really love in it. And I watched the English dub. I've also seen the Japanese audio as well. I don't know. Every time I watch it, I just kind of connect with it more. And I like it. I recognize it's not the best. And I recognize that a lot of people don't like it.
I don't want to understand why not a lot of people like it. It's good.
But I connect to seafaring adventures like that.
But you don't really like Sinbad.
That is for altogether different reasons. Altogether different reasons.
Incredibly different.
Where is the awkwardly animated snow monster in Ponyo?
Where's the good ending in Ponyo?
It's not in Sinbad.
They eat ham. It isn't Sinbad. Keep going up Ponyo. We're going to go down a rabbit hole or a whirlpool.
Definitely a whirlpool. Where's the sea? Oh, there is a sea wizard in Sinbad.
Oh my god!
Wait, are they the same movie?
Same movie?
What?
Do they eat ham? Do they eat ham in Sinbad?
I think Ponyo came out in like 2004 or 2005. Is that right?
2007, I thought. But Sinbad is like 2003.
Is it?
Oh.
Wow.
Miyazaki ripped off DreamWorks.
To be fair, Ponyo is a sea princess, and the little boy is not a pirate.
That is true.
On a more serious note, it gives me similar vibes to what Luca gives me.
I was literally about to say.
It's just that, and it's really pretty, and I really like the tiny little boat, and you know.
I do like it's like a sea-based adventure.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's just not. I don't know. I feel like we don't get a lot of those anymore.
Yeah, because when we do, they bomb at the box office, like Sinbad.
I don't know. All is Lost did kind of not do that great, didn't it?
That's different. That's got star power with Robert Redford because it's not animated too, so you can see him. Animation doesn't do well if it's not a straight up kids movie that kids love. Because Sinbad, It's not really a kid's movie, even though it's marketed as one.
So you brought that up. I'm trying to, just because I never saw any of any Studio Ghibli in the theaters, other than my pick, but I'll get onto that later. Do they do good box office wise, or
it depends? Things are much different now. A lot of anime movies that come into theaters now do well with their nerd crowds. No offense, and
he does mean offense. He just counts himself as one of those nerds.
But like we've said in previous things, Mugen Train did very well worldwide and did actually pretty well in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it the highest grossing Japanese film in Japan?
I think it might have been the highest grossing 2020 movie worldwide for obvious reasons. But the point being, that did pretty well. Animated movies not geared towards children tend to be ones that are linked to TV shows because that's where you're going to get your box office. Mm-hmm. Because unfortunately, most people, mostly parents, see animation and think, "Oh, that's for kids." But then if they look into it and it's not a kids movie, like, "Oh, I'm not going to go see that." Mm-hmm. It's changing because people, our age and your age and even a little bit older, grew up with animation. Mm-hmm. More than just the occasional Disney movie.
I don't think an adult would look at something like Flea and be like, "That's for kids."
Oh no.
But yet, it is one of the most beautifully animated movies I've seen in a while.
I still haven't seen that.
It's on Amazon, dude.
Didn't it? There's another one it's on now. Is it like Hulu or something has it now?
It might be.
So I paid for it.
It's great.
But I'll give them all the money they want. That was fantastic.
Because I was just thinking about something like Ponyo, like just like the way that they can kind of sneak. Well, that's just again any movie that Ghibli does, but
yeah, it's kind of quintessential Ghibli as much as
it really is because
not
it sneaks like adult themes and like adult like just. I'm trying to think like just the way like you look at the world and like they mask it in what do you think a movie is for kids, and I just think that
I'm gonna say this, and I understand it's been about 10 years since I've seen it, but you're gonna have to tell me if it's right or wrong. Didn't his dad go out to sea and just not come back?
Something like that, yeah.
Like they're waiting for him. They're waiting for him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that resonated with you.
Just the seafaring nature of it. And to be fair, I saw this before I saw Sinbad. But yes, I do not like Sinbad as much.
And again, it's the nostalgia.
Yes.
Were you in college when you watched Ponyo for the first time?
Yeah. Well,
you said 2007?
Yeah, about 2007, somewhere in there.
Yeah. I could have swore it was my freshman year, but that was 2005.
Interesting. So it took you that into college to see your first Ghibli.
I was not into the anime scene in high school. I did not start.
Was it more anime or was it more just animated? Because I remember seeing like
2008.
I just remember seeing commercials.
2008, yeah.
Commercials for Ponyo on like old. I'm trying to remember what Disney DVDs that I had, and they were advertising.
Well, that's because Ghibli had a deal with Disney,
right? But
that's why.
I'm just saying, like, because I saw those commercials on the Disney DVDs, it never resonated with me that it was more anime and not just an animated. It didn't like, I don't know. It didn't feel like over like this. That's kind of stylization because I always thought it was just like a really good movie. I don't know. That's why I thought it should get more at the box office than if it actually did.
I've never looked at the numbers.
Yeah.
It seems to be Ghibli is something a lot of people know about and have seen, but then
Ghibli tends to get a lot better dubs than your JQ.
That is very true.
Than your JQ random My Hero Academia movie.
Yeah, or your Digimon.
That's true. Although that dub of that last Evolution movie, man, slaps.
Either way. Awesome. That is anything you want to mention last about Ponyo?
I just remember there was a giant lady in the water.
Hey, yeah, I love it.
And then it was
That's
Kate
her
Blanchett.
mom.
Yeah, that's Kate Blanchett, right?
Yeah.
That's all. I saw this in 2015.
So the other thing I really love about it is the sounds, like
of water.
The sound. Yeah.
Just like that. It sounds just like Jared shaking
and
his
a little more of like
the microphone.
Actually, it's more. It's more.
I think he did all the sounds for the movie.
It's
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
You good?
Should we sing the song from the end credits that I hate?
No.
You don't want me to
I
sing
don't know
it?
if I
Do you remember the song?
No, probably
I don't
because I
know
didn't
if I
like
remember the song.
Probably because
Ponyo, ponyo, fishy in the sea.
Yeah, that's why I don't remember it. I don't like it.
That's right.
I used to hate the Totoro song, and then I grew to like it. I can't grow to like this.
Anyway,
I can't do it.
the sound design in Ponyo, I like all the different like little pops and bubbly noises that it makes. Like the, will you stop?
Keep going, sorry.
This is licensed to be really super annoying during his pick.
Ooh, I like
That's
it.
true. I'm just thinking about all the sounds.
I'm talking about like the sounds the tugboat makes when they light the candle and it goes, or all the pops when they're down in the wizard's laboratory and all the fish are swimming around and they start to pop out of
I
the
forgot
water
about the
bubble.
laboratory. Did the tugboat look like Little Toot?
Kinda.
Really?
I mean,
it's a tugboat.
It's like a little metal, like an old metal boat, and it's only like this big.
Oh
think.
my gosh.
Yeah, that chugging noise is pretty satisfying.
Okay.
Hey, power it with a little candle. Like I don't understand how it works, but
It's
I love
a
it.
fantasy.
It's fantastical.
I thought I saw someone once say like the scope of the movie is very small because half the movie is them going down the hill. And I go, yeah, that's kind of true. They just go down the mountain.
I mean, they do just go to the old folks' home, right?
Something like that, yeah. Not much of a story.
There is some of the animation that is kind of creepy because it's fluid, like water.
Like how she's always changing.
Yeah.
That's a little
Like,
weird.
Yeah,
and then she gets a frog head. That's right.
Yeah, or like the weird feet, right?
Mm-hmm. But on the whole, it's my favorite, and I recognize it's not the best one.
I like it. So chugging along.
Shark Tale.
Come on, give me that one.
Shark Tale.
Chugging along to our next pick. Jared, do tell us, what is your favorite movie?
I already said it, Earwig and the Witch. Because I love not having a third act. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding about that. That's
so
true.
not having a third act and wishing you didn't have a first and second either?
No, there's a first act. It's just the first act 3 times. Anyway, it's Porco Rosso, often forgotten in the catalog. Have you ever seen
I've
it?
never actually seen that.
Have you seen it?
Not in a long.
Please explain to me because you've mentioned it once or twice.
The main character is a pig. He's like a pig man.
Porco Rosso is about a pig?
And he's a pilot.
Okay.
It's between the world wars. It takes place in Italy.
Okay.
And there's air pirates. And there's like this mechanic's daughter that helps him with his plane. And there's this woman he loves. And then this like really, really annoying, like in the best way, like arrogant American pilot that's trying to race. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on.
Interesting.
It's Ghibli, so there's great flying scenes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Always the great flying scenes.
So why is that your favorite out of all of them?
It was because back in 2015, my brother had borrowed a box set from someone with like all the Ghibli movies up through Ponyo.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I've only seen Kiki's at that point. That was the only one I'd ever seen. And so I thought, oh, there's some really big titles in here. Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle. I need to start with a lesser known one because I don't want to start right away with one of the big ones.
Makes sense.
So I go, I wanted to watch Porco Rosso. I don't know much about it. Put it in and I'm watching. I'm like, this is really fun. This is great. And I get to the end and it's kind of an ambiguous ending.
Okay.
You get it. You know what happens, but it doesn't just answer it for you. And the way it ends, I was like, I'm feeling.
So
is this the first time in your life that you felt something?
Probably.
this is when Jared realized he had feelings.
but it's my favorite Ghibli movie music.
So
okay,
it's piano driven, very, very jazzy.
Oh,
I can't say the guy's name because I'm gonna slaughter it.
So you said
I'm bad at
it
pronouncing
wasn't
things.
the first one that you watched, correct?
No, it was the first one I watched in that batch because I'd seen Kiki's many times growing up.
Okay.
So Kiki's is always up there as one of my favorites. But this one, I was just And I was like, okay. And as I'm watching them afterwards, I'm loving some of them, but I never liked them as much. It's just something about it. It's a time period I'm interested in. It's in Europe, which I'm always interested in that period in Europe because it's such an interesting time.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
The flying sequences are fun. The characters are all great. I just had this big smile on my face the whole time. I watched the English dub the first time, so Michael Keaton is the main character.
Really?
Yep. And you got, I think
I'm telling you, some of those English dubs for Studio Ghibli.
Oh, they put a lot of
It's
effort into it.
there's so much money there, and it's generally so good.
Cary Elwes is the American pilot, and he has like a southern twang to his accent. It's great. Oh, he's perfect. I think it's Kimberly Williams Paisley is the mechanic's daughter.
Okay.
David Ogden Stiers is the mechanic. And then, I can't think of her name. The one who voices Meg in Hercules. I can't. Susan,
I know exactly
I'm
what you're
so
talking
sorry.
about, but I don't remember.
Susan Egan is the love interest. And then Brad Garrett's like one of the head pirates. It's so much fun. I showed it to my brother like a year or two later, and at the first half he's like, "What is this?" And by the second half he was like, "This is great." I think I have seen the Japanese dub at least once, but I hear Miyazaki's favorite dub is not the English or Japanese; it is the French dub because Jean Reno is the main character.
Okay,
and I mean
that's just
he's just cool.
He's just awesome.
Yeah, that's just nothing has topped it in terms of emotions. And every time I watch it, I just have so much fun. And because you have seen it, I don't want to spoil it. But there are some sequences because a couple times his backstory has to come up, like why is he a pig?
Sure, so
and it makes sense, and you're like, that's really good. That's really dark. That's really sad.
So is it like a pig flying in like a human world, or is it like all animals?
It's human world.
Okay.
It's anthropomorphic, so he's like a pig man.
That's why I wasn't sure.
So he's got the body and face of a pig, but he's still like a normal.
That's so interesting.
He's tubbier. So it's not like just straight up a pig with the little hooves. He has hands.
I was gonna say it's not literally like the mom and dad.
Yeah, it makes sense when you know what happens, and that's not even a super big focus as much, even though it is a big focus. But you know what I'm saying. So
that's super interesting that like they would make it like anthropomorphic and like make them. I don't know. That sounds super interesting. Like I need to watch this now.
Yeah, and again, the flying sequences they do flying so well.
Oh my god, just
so well.
Just their
everything they do. There's some form of flight, except Earwig.
Any kind of movement. I feel like because I can just remember just like the moving through like the grass and Spirited Away, just like I just feel like forward motion.
The earthquake scene in The Wind Rises, right at the beginning, where you see the landscape just kind of bend, like like that.
Oh, yeah.
So and then everything in how do you say it?
Nausicaa.
Whoa, really?
I think so because it's a double A with the little dots.
I think that's how I'm supposed to say. I'm not the one to ask about pronunciation. A Castle in the Sky.
That's always how I've heard people that generally know how to pronounce things.
Yeah. And it's funny because Nausicaa is not technically Studio Ghibli because it was before the studio. They have included it in their catalog because it's all the same people. And it's a Miyazaki directed movie, but the studio didn't exist yet.
Oh. Because that's another one that I know.
Because the other Miyazaki movie that isn't part of it is his Lupin III movie, Castle Cagliostro, which is really, really fun. And I highly recommend. I think it's still on Netflix. I went in without knowing anything about Lupin III, because that's a long-running Japanese series. A lot of movies, a lot of shows. But Miyazaki worked on one of the series or more. And that's his movie. That was his debut, and it's really fun. I'd really like to see that on the big screen.
I'm just going to have to check that out.
Yeah, but Porco Rosso, just nothing ever topped it. I watched all those other big titles, and just nothing came close for me. A little bit of nostalgia
because you watched it so long ago, or do you think it's just...
See, we say it's so long ago. I was in college, and I've not been out of college that long yet.
That long ago.
But it's been about 7 years.
College was that long ago for me.
I mean, it's starting to get there for me. It's this is 2022, so it's been...
Like how I had to look at his watch.
I know.
We're halfway through the third month of the year, and he's still
only like 5 years for you,
4
right?
years. We're still...
Dude, don't come at me with that crap. Don't come at me with that crap.
Listen, it's been as long... It's been... what's the right way to... What's the right way to phrase this? It's been as long as I was in college after college.
Surprised you
Homie.
got done in time.
Homie.
I just took film
It's been
classes. It wasn't that
17
hard.
years since I started college.
Ended. He's talking ended.
I'm talking end.
And okay, it's been 12.
It's been.
That's funny.
I do forget we are talking with a senior citizen.
Here,
I got some gray in my beard. Got gray in my hair. What do you want?
It's okay. You want me to go sign you up for AARP now?
Yeah, please. I get a lot of free stuff.
All right, on that note, you guys got anything else before I jump into mine?
yeah, I would recommend you see it, and you said you saw it a long time ago.
Long time. I only vaguely remember it. It's the flying scenes that
I'm going to say, from what you
though.
remember, is there anything other than the flying scenes?
Is that one that
That's-
Drew
that's-
showed to you?
I believe so.
Is that his favorite?
No. It wasn't Drew showed.
It wasn't Drew.
Mm-mm. So, Ponyo was the first one that I watched, but it was not the first interaction with the idea of a Ghibli movie that I had. Drew gave me a copy of Nausicaa, and I just had not watched it until I watched Ponyo, and then I got it into a big Ghibli brain.
That's what happened.
That's how it starts. I swear to God, you just watch one, and boom! You just want to watch the rest of them.
And now we'll start flying on over to Dickey, or whatever stupid pun he would say.
It's not a pun. It's a segue. Well, it's kind of both. It's a pegway.
Shark Tale.
Shark Tale. Oh my god.
No, you're not going to let that one slide? Anyway. My favorite...
Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll be back next week with
Demonetized.
Anyway, my favorite movie is Howl's favorite castle.
Is
Howl's movie.
Do you know the title of the movie?
Apparently I don't. I don't even remember anything. No, it's Howl's Moving Castle. And it's not...
Sorry.
Let me talk!
Howl's Castle.
Howl's Moving Castle.
Say it real slow.
Howl's Moving
Howl's?
Castle.
Howl's?
Howl's.
Howl's.
I'm saying this on purpose now just to get
Oh,
it.
get like Howl, but with an H.
Castle.
Thank you. Now, Howl's favorite
God.
classical or whatever you
Good
said.
God.
Howl's favorite rascal?
I was...
Howl's moving Massel.
No, we're not going down this road. We're not doing that game.
Class.
Look,
Classic classel.
You going, Mr. Howl?
all I was going to say
Howl.
is it wasn't the first one that I saw. The first one I think was actually Totoro. Totoro was
That
in
makes
Spirited
sense.
Away.
Also makes sense.
And but this was the first one that I saw on the big screen.
I was with you.
Yes, we are both at a specific place that we will not mention, just to stay clear of any reasons. But anyway, yes, I remember seeing it on the big screen there for the first time. That
We
just
had Taco Bell
Oh, we had Taco Bell too.
beforehand. Yeah.
For
It
days.
just sent me. It sent me to a magical place. Like I have just.
Those bombs start falling and all the horrors of war, and he's there going, "Ah!" And we're like,
Yep,
and we're just like,
you know me. Oh man.
Dickey,
This is sad, Dickey.
this is bad. He's like, what? And you
I
just
just
couldn't.
saw the explosions. Like, oh, big explosions.
Wow.
No, that's not.
That's the Michael Bay demographic right there.
Could you imagine a Michael Bay edit of this? Oh my god, I would actually.
Can you
pay
imagine a
money to
Michael
watch
Bay
it.
live action adaptation of it?
I would, honest to God, pay a lot of money to watch that. But no, you know what? The character that made me really love this, and I'm sure you can guess it
The
real
Scarecrow.
quick. It's not the Scarecrow.
I don't have a guess.
Calcifer.
I was gonna say the witch.
Oh, the witch too. Like I try to remember. Like I've seen it memed so many times online. It's like it's so old at 26 or so. Like you know what I'm talking about? Like when she's like hobbling along, but she's obviously only. How old is she in the movie? Do you remember by any chance?
Are you talking?
you know,
It's Sophie, right?
Sophie,
Like,
yes.
I don't remember.
No idea. Anyway, I just think it's funny that. As I said, I've seen it memed plenty of times on the internet where she's hobbling around when she's turned into a grandma. And she's like, oh, it's so hard being this old. And she's only 25. It makes me laugh.
It does have that staircase scene is one of the weirdest Studio Ghibli scenes, and it's funny because
That's what
these are a lot of these are fantasy movies with some weird stuff. But the weirdest scene is just two old ladies walking up the stairs. Because they're like sweating and panting. I'm like, this is weird in the realistic sense, but it's like a lot of sweat, like spaghetti western sweat.
What I really love is how oh my god, I can't for the love of me remember what her name was. Who's the evil witch? Who's the
Witch of the Waste, isn't it?
Yeah, is it just Witch of the Waste? Or?
I think so.
Okay, I didn't know if there's another.
Last time I saw it was with you.
Yeah,
3 or 4 years ago.
Wow, but yeah, no, like that animation on her when she was walking up the stairs, I'm like, oh.
But then you had that little dog that kind of laughed like Motley did, like.
I know. It just
Motley.
I feel like it goes so many different directions and somehow weaves it all together in kind of, it's like a little mind bendy too, like at the end, like where she goes through.
Wait, you've seen it, right? Okay. House spoilers, everyone. Had to do this every time he does this.
House spoilers. I mean, I thought you guys saw it, so
don't assume. What did we tell you? You know I saw it. Well, you gotta make sure first.
Know, I'm not gonna spoil anything again. Like
you already spoiled Star Wars.
I didn't spoil Star Wars. I just
You're that kind of person now.
Spoiler alert! Vader is Luke's dad!
What?
There's a difference between something that's like a year old and something that's like 40 years old.
So okay, here's an off-topic question.
We're getting way off topic.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but which is worse, someone who spoils Star Wars or someone from the Star Wars fandom?
I think we have both right here.
What's it like to be you?
I try not being an annoying Star Wars fanboy. Sometimes it sneaks out, but it's
annoying Star Wars fanboy.
Come on,
you're not a fanboy.
I try not to be. Don't get me wrong. I love dearly the Star Wars movies, but I don't treat all of them like they are the greatest thing ever created.
We're talking about Star Wars. We talk about Star Wars in every video.
You always bring stuff.
I kind of started it because I'm making you not spoil things.
I think we all keep landing on it.
It's so hard not to. I love it so much. But
we're all pretty hard geeks.
Absolutely. But now, anyway, back to Howls. It genuinely feels like they. I don't know how. Well, I think it helps that it's.
I don't know. You mean you don't know how?
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, boy. But I don't know how they ever managed to make like an epic, like it's like an epic, right? Like this thing like spans like a crap load of time, a crap load of places, but it makes it feel so small and down to earth. And I think it's just that magic way of their storytelling that just perfectly sends it to me. And I stand by just seeing this for the first time in the movie theater is probably what made it my favorite. Absolutely, because all I can remember is when me and you, when we were just sitting down, I'm just watching this for something like, wow, my mind is just blown. We're walking out of just like, wow, I've never seen anything quite like that.
A lot is happening. It gets a little confusing the first time.
I could absolutely see
because that second time I was like, okay, this is making more sense because I know where it's going. Because that first time it's... What?
I was like, what?
I don't remember what the reason is for why Sophie's old ageness goes in and out. I can't remember what their explanation was. It's like when she's feeling more confident in herself.
I think it's confident.
It's something like that.
Love. I think
it's similar to Porco Rosso's thing on like how does this work, where it's not really explained, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. But I just remember being confused the first time. The second time, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get it.
That's the thing. Like they did it in Howls, and you said they did it in Porco Rosso, and they do it in plenty of their movies. I like how they don't tie things up in a pretty bow at the end. It feels more just natural to life when you don't give everything a pitch perfect ending. And I really like the way that they managed to pull that off.
It should have won Best Animated Feature.
What was it up against that year?
It lost to Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, Howls should have won.
Better. I think the third one, because back then, if you didn't have enough animated movies coming out with a high enough score on their short list, there were 3, not 5. And the other one, I believe, was Corpse Bride.
Ooh, that's a
which Corpse Bride's fine.
Year.
I'm not a huge fan.
I
like Wallace and Gromit too. Just this is much better.
How in God's name did Wallace and Gromit win over this? That's baffling to me. But yeah,
it's less of a niche.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. It's not as. I mean, yeah.
It's more funny.
I don't know. There's some pretty funny moments in Howls. I'm not gonna lie.
Now, did you watch the English dub ever?
Yes.
I know a lot of people like the Japanese Calcifer better than Billy Crystal, but I really like Billy Crystal's Calcifer.
Billy Crystal is just phenomenal in anything that man does.
And I like Christian Bale as Howl better than the Japanese one too. Yes, it's because I speak the language that it's in. But that's what I watched first. So that's probably why.
That's probably why you liked it, because
these are the only movies I tend to watch the dub because I trust it. Just about anything else, I always watch original language. But the Ghibli movies, I usually watch the English, but I'll watch both easily.
They put effort. It's because they actually put effort into casting, into voice directing, into like just all that stuff. I feel like they put more effort than any other company usually does. But yeah, that is my favorite.
Studio Ghibli makes good movies. Except Earwig and the Witch.
No, what are you talking about? That's a fantastic film.
I feel like I need to watch this now because you've mentioned it so many times, and I have
it's a bit taxing.
Is it long?
Is it ear taxing?
No,
it can't be that long.
No, it's what?
Never mind.
I'm dying to hear what did
you gotta say it now. I missed you.
No, I don't want to say it. You'll hear it when you listen to it.
No. You gotta repeat it. Come on, really quick.
My brain did a weird thing where it went from earwig to earwax. And so he said, was it taxing? And I said, was it earwaxing?
Shark tail.
Yep.
You shark tail.
I got a shark tail myself.
All right. Anything else you guys want to mention? No?
No.
All righty. Well, that was our discussion of Studio Ghibli. Jared, where can they find us?
You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and what's the other one?
TikTok.
Oh yeah, the funny video thing. God. And then you can listen to us on
never
Google, Apple
down.
Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, and please like and subscribe on YouTube and leave a comment if you'd like to hear my further thoughts on Earwig and the Witch.
Leave a comment if you like us. Leave a comment if you hate us. Just curious to know if we're actually liked.
What were you going for?
I don't know.
He was begging for compliments.
Pretty much. Make me feel good. Anyway.
He's turned into an influencer and we have 50 followers.
Almost 50. Almost 50. We're close. But anyway, thank you everybody for listening to today's installment of Our Favorites. We will be back again soon with more favorites and more bite-sized media. And
one of these times that chair is going to just bend completely flat.
That'd be really funny.
And that
would
be the first time I've broken a chair that way.
Hilarious to see Jared fall out of his seat. And so stay tuned to maybe see that happen. We'll see you guys later.